From extra food stamps to incredible new discounts, we've got the scoop on everything you need to know about SNAP benefits. In this month's EBT update, let's dive right in. Let's start with some good news. Washington, D.C. residents, you're seeing a 10% uplift in your EBT this month. And for those in New York, there's a proposal to raise the minimum SNAP benefit to $100 a month. That's more than 4 times the current minimum. This could be a game changer for so many, so make sure to voice your support to your state lawmakers. These changes reflect a growing recognition of the need for more robust support for low-income families, especially in high-cost areas. We have found a ton of different ways that you can double or even triple your EBT benefits in other areas recently, so make sure to visit lowincomerelief.com for more ways that you may be able to get extra EBT this month. Now, of course, many of you are eagerly waiting for that summer EBT boost as well. Those extra $120 payments will be very helpful, and we've got good news for families in Nebraska. The governor has recently had a change of heart about the summer EBT program. He sat down with children who had experienced hunger during the summertime, and the governor decided that the state will in fact accept federal funds for the summer EBT program this year. This is a major reversal from the prior decision to skip the program in that state. Now, of course, not every state has been so fortunate. Governor Landry of Louisiana has taken a hard stand against summer EBT. He said, quote, "Louisiana already administers robust social safety net programs, including SNAP, TANF, and FITAP, as well as the child nutrition programs, including the USDA Summer Food Service Program, the USDA Child and Adult Care Food Program, the Seamless Summer Option, and WIC. This year, the Summer Food Service Program will offer meals to go. Under those numerous programs, every child will be able to receive the meals they need throughout the summer." He doesn't see the need for summer EBT, which is very frustrating for families there. But lawmakers are trying to take things into their own hands and force the state to sign up for summer EBT next year. So there is hope. In the meantime, we have found a ton of new EBT discounts for you this month. Thrive Market is the first all-online retailer to accept SNAP benefits nationwide. This market provides more than 5,000 organic and sustainable products priced at up to 30% off regular retail prices. You can get a free 1-year Thrive Market membership by applying online at thrivemarket.com/thrive-gives. We've also found 11 new EBT admission discounts in 7 states. The new additions include the Kimberly Crest House and Gardens in Redlands, California, the David L. Mason Children's Art Museum in Dunedin, Florida, the Children's Museum of Atlanta in Atlanta, Georgia, the Algonquin Museum of American Art in Algonquin, Maine, the Children's Museum of Southern Minnesota in Mankato, Minnesota, the Cape Henry Lighthouse in Fort Story, Virginia, the Virginia Living Museum in Newport News, Virginia, the Virginia Museum of Contemporary Art in Virginia Beach, Virginia, Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium in Tacoma, Washington, Northwest Track in Eatonville, Washington, the Walla Walla Children's Museum in Walla Walla, Washington. We've added these new additions to our list of more than 1,000 EBT discounts on our website at lowincomerelief.com/EBT, so be sure to go check that out. Now, while we celebrate the new expansions to the SNAP program, we also need to pay attention to a concerning trend that is on the rise. Unfortunately, not all news can be good news, especially when it comes to the safety and security of your benefits. Recently, over 6,000 EBT accounts were compromised by skimmers in Illinois. The thieves stole so much money that the state hasn't even finished calculating the losses yet. But they think that the compromised accounts were all tied to a skimming device that was placed in Peoria. When they found out about it, they canceled and reissued all the affected cards, which caused delays in benefits for the low-income users that needed them. This incident isn't isolated. Skimming devices have become a widespread issue, affecting countless people across every state. The Big Y retailer in Massachusetts discovered skimmers in at least 10 of their stores recently. Skimmers are incredibly invasive, capable of stealing your card data in an instant. This isn't just some random rare occurrence anymore. In fact, organized crime has started targeting EBT as well. Not long ago, the government caught a group of 48 people, led by a man from Romania, who used skimmers to steal hundreds of thousands of dollars from EBT and other public assistance programs. This shows us just how serious and organized these thieves are. They're not working alone. They're part of big groups that know exactly what they're doing to steal money that's meant to help people like you. Because of this, it's really important for all of us to be extra careful with our EBT cards. The thieves are getting smarter, but we can protect ourselves by being alert and knowing what to look out for. Always check the machine where you're using your card. Make sure that it looks right and doesn't have anything strange attached to it. Watch out for weird lights, wiggly parts, things that don't line up quite right. The reality is these skimmers are sophisticated, and the technology they use is evolving, which makes it easier for them to steal from unsuspecting victims. You have to be careful and take the time to make sure that you aren't falling into their trap. Unfortunately, there's another kind of theft we need to be cautious about as well, and this is one that might surprise you. Sometimes the people who are supposed to help us with our EBT benefits are the ones who end up taking them. For example, a worker from the Food and Nutrition Benefits Office in North Carolina was recently caught stealing more than $30,000 from EBT accounts. She did this by opening fake EBT accounts and even taking money from real people's accounts. The stolen money was used to buy things that were delivered straight to her home. This kind of theft is really upsetting because it's from someone who is trusted to help people get their benefits. It shows that we need to be careful and keep an eye on our accounts even when we think they're in safe hands. With the rise in thefts, the federal replacement plan just isn't adequate anymore. The federal rules set limits on how much money can be replaced and how often, which has left a lot of innocent victims without proper compensation. Fortunately, there's some good news for folks in Maryland. The state has decided to make it easier for people to get their stolen SNAP benefits replaced. The state is saying that they're going to be more flexible, and they're going to use state funds to supplement those replacements beyond the limits imposed by the federal rules. This means that if your benefits are stolen, you have a better chance of getting more of that money back, and you might be able to do it more often than just twice per year. For example, an EBT user named Vanessa Fleeton lost $2,500 worth of benefits. Under the federal rules, she was only offered $46 back. That doesn't even come close to what she lost. But with these new changes, she's hoping to get all of her stolen benefits replaced. Maryland's Department of Human Services has even said they'll make these changes work for cases that happened before the new rules kicked in, and people won't have to fill out a bunch of extra forms to get their benefits replaced. Oh, and make sure you watch out for a suspicious email about a SNAP settlement. Scammers are getting tricky and are now sending out emails that claim you might be owed some sort of settlement money from SNAP. But here's the catch. They ask for your personal and payment information, and that's how they try to scam you. It's super important to stay safe and not fall for these tricks. Never give out your personal or financial information in response to an email that you were not expecting, especially if they're asking about your SNAP benefits. These scammers are just trying to take what's not theirs, and you have to be smarter than they are. If you ever get an email like this or anything that seems suspicious and is related to SNAP, don't respond to it. Instead, you can help stop these scammers by reporting the email. You can also call 1-844-DHS-TIPS and let them know what's going on. It's one way that we can all help keep each other safe and make sure that our benefits are protected from people who are trying to take advantage of the system. While we're all grappling with the rising tide of theft and fraud within the SNAP program, it's incredibly frustrating to see that so many lawmakers seem to be directing their focus elsewhere. Instead of tackling these urgent security issues head-on to protect our benefits and cut down on the waste caused by fraud, many lawmakers are instead focused on pushing people off of SNAP altogether. Several states are now moving toward legislation that could make accessing SNAP benefits even harder. For instance, West Virginia is considering a proposal that would compel unemployed SNAP recipients to engage in job training if they work less than 30 hours a week, with certain exemptions for those with disabilities or other significant barriers. Nebraska wants to make their highly successful SNAP Next Steps program mandatory instead of optional. This change would force unemployed SNAP users, including children as young as 16 and seniors up to age 59, to participate in the employment and training program in order to continue receiving help with food. The state says that they will offer exemptions to students, people with disabilities, and parents of young children. In contrast, Michigan is taking a different path. Their state is working with the USDA to delay the implementation of the new federal work requirements until February of 2025. This should allow those affected by the rule changes to keep their benefits a little longer. Along with the big talk about work rules and the problems with scams, there's another big issue making things tough for people using SNAP right now. A lot of states are really behind on their paperwork. And I know we've talked about this before, but there are a lot of people waiting a long time to get the benefits that they deserve. Some states, like Alaska, Colorado, and Georgia, have been put on a corrective action plan by the USDA due to their repeated failure to process applications on time. Even with this new pressure from the federal government, Tennessee has openly admitted that it will take at least a few more months before their program is working smoothly again. Now, a lot of these backlogs are caused by technical problems as states try to upgrade their systems. Florida tried to update their system, but it ended up making it really hard for people to submit their forms or the documents that they needed on time. As a result, many people lost access to SNAP or Medicaid because of problems within the system. If you're in Florida and you've had trouble with your benefits because of this, please call the state's call center for help sorting that out. And all that brings us to an interesting point. I have seen a lot of comments about this lately, and I want to address it. You might have heard some folks saying that there are people with EBT balances holding a lot of money, like $6,000, $8,000, or sometimes even $10,000 or more. And a lot of people wonder, why would someone with that much on their card actually need food benefits? Well, there's a big reason behind it that's not really being talked about. Imagine you're supposed to get $750 to $1,000 every month from EBT to help buy food. But because of all the delays and the paperwork problems that we've talked about on this channel, you end up waiting 6 to 9 months before you see any of that money. When it finally comes through, it all comes in at once, making it look like you've got a lot saved up. But really, it's just what you were supposed to be getting all along. But it's all piled up because of those delays. This isn't about people having too much. It's about waiting too long for the help that they needed. It shows just how big those delays can be and why fixing them is so important. It's not fair to judge without knowing the full story, especially when folks are just trying to get by with the support that they're entitled to. The real question we should be asking is, how did that family get by without that money when they needed it the most? Oh, and don't forget to check out our recent video about the mistakes that can lead to a permanent lifetime ban from the food stamps program. I'll see you there.